What's going on, Jerome's? Happy halftime. Chiming in, going live as the Vikings are currently at the Saints. Where are they? Saints 20-yard line, 2nd and 10. Just had a strip sack. Diesel Dalvin, Zadarius Smith teaming up for the strip sack, as well as, come on, offensive line. Come on. Harrison Phillips jumped on it. Now, I had commented earlier in the game, so where's all these forced fumbles that Donato was talking about training camp? See, bullying works. We'll get into bullying with Kevin O'Connell's offensive game plan as well. But Vikings currently up 10-7, less than a minute left. 22 seconds left, actually. Vikings have the rock deep in Saints territory. Where's the legal hands of the face? Hands of the face. No hands to the face, eh? Absolutely ridiculous. What the hell? All right, so the refs have had two absolutely egregious no calls. So that was an extremely obvious illegal hands to the face on, man, Brian O'Neill. O'Neill's effing up, man. Sucks. Why do I got to add Brian O'Neill to the losers column? The losers. Where are we going? Messed up, man. Come on. Brian O'Neill. Sack and false start. This after the national media jabroni haircuts were all hyping up. Like, how do you settle for 2 field goals here? That's ridiculous. Now, settling for 2 field goals on these 2 drives is just absolutely redonkulous. And it's super frustrating. And yeah, you could say like, well, hey, the Vikings have the lead on the road against the Saints. Congratulations. But it's frustrating in that it could have been and should have been so much better. The Cousins interception sucked. Allowing Andy Dalton to go 5 for 5. March down the field. O'Connell's looking frustrated, man. Not going for it on that 4th and 1. Johnny Munt dropping what probably would have been a touchdown. All right, 13-7 headed into halftime. At least Greg Joseph ain't shanking him. It's frustrating, man. Probably the most frustrating 13-7 lead. Halftime. It's probably the most frustrating 6-point halftime lead in NFL history because how is this not 21-7? I want to know that. It seemed like they blew a huge opportunity on that second drive, or on that one drive where they settled for the first Joseph field goal, and then having this turnover, the strip sack right in the kitchen, right near the Saints red zone, and it's just it's just frustrating, man. It is. First off, I want to say absolute prayers up for Lewisine. That did not look good. And if you want to go back and watch that replay, do not. It's just you feel horrible for Lewisine, man. You know, he's working his way up, trying to find his way, and then this, it just sucks. And they took him to the hospital for evaluation. You just feel absolutely horrible for the kid, man. But game-wise, Vikings 13-7. Should have been a lot more. And that's the most frustrating thing about it, where they're down their starting quarterback, their starting running back, their starting wide receiver, one of their starting offensive linemen, and the defense is still allowing the Saints to move the football, so hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us in the ass. Defensively, offensively, the Vikings, it seemed like there was a lot more meat on that bone, where you had a couple of nice bites. Kevin O'Connell had a great scripted opener, ended up with that touchdown, but then they sort of lagged there in between. The offensive line on money downs giving up pressures, and it's from the edges too. I mean, so Garrett Bradbury is going to get dinged up for that first sack, except that was more of a coverage sack. I don't really put that on him, but Darisaw hasn't been playing up to snuff, as well as Brian O'Neill gave up that big-time sack against Cam Jordan on the third down. So, I mean, there was a lot of hype this week for the two Vikings offensive tackles, and it hasn't panned out so far. But just going through, Adam Thielen looking like a stud, 5 catches for 66 yards on 5 touchdowns. Try that again. 5 touchdowns would be great. 5 for 66 on 5 targets. Jefferson got a couple early touches and then sort of faded away and then got going towards the end of the half. 5 for 42 on 5. KJ should have had that touchdown, but Jefferson, no, it was a pick. It was a pick with stupid refs and their stupid faces. It's just the officiating as well has been a little bit frustrating. That trip by Demario Davis, just blatant. Like So every year when there's a new point of emphasis on rules, the officials will send out tapes highlighting just blatant examples of whatever the new rule should be. And that Demario Davis trip, I mean, there wasn't anything else. You could call it inadvertent or advertent or whatever, but it was a full-on blatant trip. Dalvin probably would have ran for a 50-yard touchdown, so that's frustrating. But respect to Dalvin, looking like a warrior out there. Let's see, what else we got here? All right, so the thing we've been doing at halftimes, just rumbling through winners and losers as soon as this. There you go. All right, so Zadarius Smith out there just looking like a GD winner, man. Absolutely just getting after it. Let's bring this. So he was a game-time decision with that knee injury, but he's looking really damn good. Had that sack. Did they give him another half a sack? No, they gave them one to Diesel, but had that forced fumble. Looking good out there. Kevin O'Connell, like we mentioned, put together a really nice opener as well as some decent adjustments. I don't like that. I don't like that they settled for 2 field goals there at the end. I think he should have been more aggressive, especially in that 4th and 1. Tristan D, why didn't Kevin O'Connell use a timeout and get Zimmer back? That's fair. That is a fair question. See here. Madison. That touchdown, just rumbling in on that screen pass, that was a hell of a play call. Plus, props to Adam Thielen as well as Darisaw and Ezra getting out in front on that screen. Why isn't this formatting better? There we go. It's a little bit better. Then Thielen, like we said, big time first half. Shondon Sullivan sniffing out screens, coming up and making plays. He's looking really good. DJ Wanham setting the edge versus the run. Also looking fantastic. And, DJ's been getting a couple of pressures, which is great because I mean, let's be honest here. Like, where's Danielle Hunter? I want to know. It's been rough, man. Mo 56521, $5 in super chat. Woo, that's right, man. You got a question? Toss a couple bucks in super chat and we'll answer them. Larry Garr, $5. I second guessed the trade out of the 12th spot when Kyle Hamilton was sitting right there. He's playing good for the Ravens. Prayers for Scene. We cover this, but it's not just Scene. It is Scene, it is Booth, it is Ingram, it is Asamoah. They were all part of that trade down, so that also has to factor in. Apparently, NFL Network's been showing the Scene replay. That sucks, man. That sucks. Jack Batterson, $2 in the super chat. Skull Vikes, that's right. Other winners so far, Jalen Reagor and Brian Asamoah on that really unfortunate play where Scene got hurt. Reagor busted 23-yard return. Plus, Asamoah, he had a great block, plus he did a phenomenal job of not drawing a blocking in the back penalty. Like it was almost like back to back, and he like slid through like this. It was fantastic. It was really, really good. Brian Asamoah, after Kendricks left for a couple of plays, getting checked for concussion, and I'm glad that Kendricks is back because also the Vikings have a competent medical staff, unlike the Dolphins. So the Vikings. I was hoping that Asamoah was going to get in, but, it's Troy Dye. C.J. Ham. So C.J. Ham being out there, they alluded to it on the coverage, where C.J. Ham being out there in 21 personnel kept the Saints in base defense, so it kept Pete Werner out there. And Pete Werner is a liability in coverage. You saw it, but C.J. Ham on the wheel route, it was right there, man. It was right there. Justin Jefferson having 5 catches, getting some touches early, working Marshawn Lattimore, which is not a tough, which is a difficult thing to do. It's not an easy assignment going up against Lattimore like that. Cameron Tiny Dancer had a nice pass breakup. Is looking relatively good. I still question the Donatel soft zone, but Also, Kirk Cousins dancing. Did you see that? After the heading into 2 minutes, I think after Jefferson's second catch, it was Cousins going like this, looking like every Minnesota dad at a wedding reception after a couple McGoldens, just like that's the move. That's it, man. Josh Ram, $5 in super chat on the Cousins hit INT if he throws and catches Irv in stride. Is that a touchdown? Do you agree? Well, I think it was a miss. It wasn't a miscommunication, but it was a misread because it looked like Cousins was going back shoulder with Irv. But if they had just said, like, hey, we got them vertically and just keep going, I mean, that's the easy touchdown because I don't think Honey Badger recovers to take on Irv. New Orleans versus New Orleans, like Honey Badger versus Irv. It's kind of funny, man. Both New Orleans natives. Then, see, lose so far, Ed Donto. Well, I can't stand it. I can't stand it just sitting back with 8 or 7, because sometimes the rush isn't getting there, sometimes it is. It's frustrating, man. But Andy Dalton, you let him drive down 5 for 5, 5 for 5, staying alive. How long was that? How long was that drive? Saints touchdown drive was 60 yards. Andy Dalton perfect on that drive. That's frustrating, man. And the refs, like we mentioned, the Demario Davis blatant tripping as well as missing the hands to face on Cousins. The offensive line has been. I mean, the Saints, it's not like this is like Greg Williams era where they're sending 6, 7, 8 dudes. Like, they're literally just rushing 4, and they're getting pressure. They're getting pressure on the edges, which is frustrating, man. Johnny Munt with that drop, like we said, not going for around 4th and 1. But 100% this is just like, this is entitlement. Like, this is us, with our privilege, being up 13-7 and bitching this much. It's tough, man. It's tough. Because 100% this game should be at least 17-7 right now. Maybe even 21-7 at least. But we're still here. We're still grinding, man. That's right. So, hoping for a better second half. You guys are the best. We'll be here for the post game. We'll do 10 things that we learned, as well as the winners and losers video. So, Skull Vikes second half.